Hello everyone! In my last video on Snapchat Spotlight, where I told you how to maximize your earnings with the Creator Fund, I got a lot of comments asking about the most effective niches to grow an audience and the best ways to earn money in terms of the most successfully earning niches. Now, I'll tell you right now off the bat, the most successful niche for you is the one that you're going to stick with. That's the first lesson of today. The highest earning niche will be the one that you're the most motivated to stick to. So if you're really at all not passionate about the niche that you're making content for, you're not going to continue. And I have to say, you can treat it as a job, but with social media in particular and content creation, it is very hard to start off. That's because if you work at a normal job when you first start off, you will be paid straight away. So you will have extrinsic motivation. That's motivation outside of something motivating you to keep going. But in social media land, when you don't get paid for the first maybe 6 months of making content, you're going to have to actually enjoy what you're doing, or you're going to have to be really good at delaying your gratification and just dealing with the fact that you're not getting any returns for a while. And that's the sad state of social media in general. Sometimes you can be lucky, other times you're not. But the highest earning niche for you will be the one that you actually do, because you're going to earn more money in a lower earning niche than a niche that you're not going to even try. So first off, try with that out of the way. Inventing a new space and a new niche is always one of the main areas to success in life. This is a general life thing. If you invent a new area, you're always at the top straight away. Invent a new religion, you're already the founder. Invent a new technology, you are the first and earliest adopter. Inventing a new space is always the way to ensure that you're the best. So, with that said, you can copy a niche that other people are doing, and you can do it very successfully. But I would like to remind you that the opportunity is always there, that if you think you have a valuable idea, you should test it out, because you could be a pioneer and you could truly be completely stealing an audience for yourself, not away from other people, but creating a new community base altogether. Now let's start with the first idea. The first is, of course, comedy, humor, sketches, all of these sorts of things. These are classic and these are popular on essentially every forum on the internet, every single social media and every website. Comedy and humor is a universal human attribute, and it's a universal part of the human experience, and if you can do it well, you'll succeed. If you know humor and you have ways to generate content that is regularly and consistently entertaining and funny, an audience will almost always find you, because it goes to the heart of what it is to be a person. If you have a good sense of humor, if you think you can cultivate a good sense of humor, I would try this. First, put a word of caution. Comedy videos are very hard to make, and so most content creators are going to start doing meme compilations. And this means you're involving intellectual property you don't necessarily own, and that is putting you in the danger zone, because it is a more risky process in terms of getting monetized if you don't necessarily own the things you're compiling. Now, it depends on what country you're in. In America, and most websites like YouTube run with the American standard of fair use. And fair use is that in certain scenarios, you can largely repurpose content, and if it is significantly transformative, meaning it changes it enough, it creates a new piece of content and you own that new piece. But keep in mind, not all countries have this. Australia, the country I'm in, doesn't have this at all. There is no fair use law in Australia. So keep that in mind and think about things like, can you license a meme, or can you make a meme yourself? If you see compilations of memes you like, perhaps it's safer if you're actually to license and create your own meme based on a trend. If you see a trend with a funny image being slapped on different things, Try and put the image on something yourself and create a new piece of content. This will also give you your own novelty when people come and see your thing, because they won't recognize your memes from other compilations. But, of course, it's always technically possible to get your things monetized as well that way. Next up, we have tutorials and how-to guides. These are classic, and these are things that are actually popular on Snapchat Spotlight. I put this in because I thought this would be something that would be like more of a hidden and something you probably wouldn't think about, because when most people think about Snapchat Spotlight, they think of pretty people being attractive. They think of random, probably pretty low quality skits. They think of random ASMR and jokes. But tutorials and how-to guides are actually coming up and are proving to be a new and innovative area of Snapchat Spotlight. One of the main things about this is you actually build up fan loyalty. Because if you're in another area, like if you're another meme brain rot Snapchat Spotlight creator, and you, for example, download compilations off of YouTube Reels and you mash them up and you put them on your Snapchat Spotlight, your audience is realistically not going to be loyal to you. And they're not going to likely regularly check your stuff and subscribe only to you. But if you are a content creator that meaningfully teaches them things that they won't get elsewhere, you will become what is like a guru, a unique content creator to them that they will want to keep a track of. So keep that in mind. You have the ability to make something high quality as well as something low quality. The standards of quality and everything is in your control. Approach this how you want. Some of you, I imagine, are going to spam out 1,000 low effort Snapchat spotlights, and maybe that might garner you some views in that way. And others, I imagine, are going to work on a few really high quality spotlights that might go viral or might not. They might go under the radar. That's all part of the game. Next up, lifestyle and vlogs. These sort of things on Snapchat Spotlight are better done as montages or compilations. So for example, if you're going somewhere, I've seen this done. It's 60 seconds of my trip to Paris. So they'll have like a montage of them getting in the car, quickly going out, walking through the airport, getting on the plane, arriving, going, and then they're at the Eiffel Tower. Hooray, day over, they collapse into bed. That sort of thing, those sort of short form vlogs, remember this is short form, do well. Also another thing, being attractive is a massive benefit in Snapchat Spotlight. So if you have a vlog where it's just you talking to the camera, if you're enchanting in any way, you may seriously be able to rank in views, because that, in all honesty, is what many of the top community creators do. They are relatively attractive people talking about themselves, talking about their life. It's relatively a myopic environment, and that's how it is. So if you think you can do that, good on you. You've been blessed. You have good genetics, or you've got a good sense of editing, and I wish you luck. Next is music and dance, and now this is going to be complicated because a lot of the top ranking Snapchat Spotlight accounts that specialize in music and dance are actually montage accounts that have somehow either bypassed the intellectual property system of Snapchat Spotlight, or they have licensed multiple different memes or multiple different videos of people dancing from all across the internet, because it'll be like top 10 something dances, and it'll have top 10 compilations of like different ladies or different men dancing and doing different sorts of choreography, and it might be the top 10 dances in said dance trend. Usually dance trends rank the best on Snapchat Spotlight. So think about that. If you are a talented dancer yourself, hopping on trends is going to be the most effective way for you to get a new audience. Once you have an established audience, it will grow organically. But using things like hashtags and sounds and music and hopping on dance trends, if you have an aesthetically pleasing setup, which is very important, and you have a full body dance setup, and you can do your dance to a high quality, you may be able to garner a unique audience very quickly, especially whenever there is a dance phenomena going on. So a new song from an artist comes out, that is the opportunity for you to create a new and innovative dance and use whatever is the prevalent hashtag. Inspirational, motivational content, you see this essentially everywhere. This is a big one spamming Instagram. This is a big one spamming YouTube Shorts. Essentially, if you can find inspiration from things in your life and share them, you will get some sort of an audience. But the most important thing in this regard is to have authenticity and high quality. So you may have seen the hundreds and hundreds of accounts that rather unthoughtfully recount the same quote from Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, all of the Stoic philosophers. They love them, and the Stoic philosophers, of course, are great, but rehashing the same quotes that everyone already knows on relatively low quality backgrounds or videos of cars, Maseratis and Bugattis going really fast is realistically not going to get you a lot of money. It might get you views, but man, there are so many people doing that already, and almost none of them are getting views because it's the same stuff over and over again, and no one really finds it impressive. If you can find something interesting and inspirational, say you are actually a reader, and you find something inspirational that's not something that's shared everywhere online, maybe actually have a thoughtful way that you present this. You could have a quote and then explain the quote. Have it in some also unique brand identity when you do it. So don't have the same photo of Marcus Aurelius that every single person has. You want to make a unique branding style that your quotes have as compared to other people to set you apart. Because, as I said, everyone is doing this and it all looks the same at the moment, and you need to find a way to jump out of that crowd. Art and creativity, of course, this is a no-brainer. Especially anime is massive right now, but really everything, photography, painting, drawing. Photography videos of where you meet someone and then take a fantastic photo of them always turn out really well, and they're done so well on all of these different platforms, and they get really good ratings, but those take a lot of work, and you have to know a lot about composition and how cameras work to be able to do them well. Other things like sketching, for example, have recently mixed genres and become part of the meme genre as well. So there are a lot of people drawing memes or making small comic panels in the format of memes. So you'll see the Chad meme with the dude like Giga Chad with a massive jaw, and people will draw him with like SpongeBob or something like that. Those are examples of things that actually get a lot of user attention because of their unique novelty, but also how impressed people are when they see the actual craftsmanship of a person with their hand being able to draw something with a pencil or paint something. And if you're surrounded by a sea of AI-generated images that are all turning into sludge, you stand out a ton. And very recently, with the new AI deluge of content, lead pencil drawings, authentic lead pencil drawings, have become very popular. So I've seen that as a niche that's actually evolving right now in the last few months. So I would hop on that if you know what you're doing. One other area that I've seen done well in short form content is going through your art journey. So actually starting off and being real with your audience and saying, I'm really not good at drawing, guys. Can you give me some tips? And showing them a drawing that might actually be bad, but that you've obviously put effort into, gets a big response on social media. People love that. It's like videos of people that are unfit working out and asking for support. These videos retain audiences because they feel so real and so human. So I would definitely try that. Next, we have food and cooking. And now this is getting into the area that I call visual chewing gum. And visual chewing gum is my analogy that I use because chewing gum is something that doesn't have any nutritional value. It doesn't fill you up, but it's something that you just do to entertain yourself. And so this is food and cooking and ASMR and videos of people breaking stuff and random, those random videos of a car in GTA going off a cliff that people play over and over again. This is that sort of area where you can watch someone do something physical and not think. It's the bit where your brain goes brainless and you watch like those videos of someone playing Subway Surfers. So if you're good at food and cooking, there are two ways you can use this. You can use this to be legitimately helpful and teach people recipes, but I would need to tell you one thing with that right now. You need to do a really good job at doing that. Otherwise, people are not going to get interested. Or you have to be funny and provide interesting commentary at the same time as doing this. And this is getting back into that visual chewing gum. So there are a lot of people that I've seen, and it's actually quite a large trend at the moment, to tell jokes or to say really outlandish black and dark humor things while you're cooking. And that will garner people's attention because they will see a video of someone cooking. It's relaxing enough to see a montage of cooking. But at the same time, they'll hear some weird, wacky, outlandish thing that this person's saying, and those two things are really incongruous. They don't go together, and that's what holds audiences' attention and grabs you as an audience so that you don't swipe past but you keep watching. And lastly, the ultimate visual chewing gum. This is purely chewing gum content. This is ASMR. So slime is great, cutting soap videos are great, actual traditional ASMR where you use a microphone and you get really close to the microphone sort of content, all does very well on Snapchat Spotlight. I have personally used this niche in the past and people love it. It's very effective. Some people hate it and some people love it, but the people that hate it, to your benefit, frequently comment about how much they hate it, thus interacting with the content and making it even more popular, which I find crazy, but is part of it. And slime and ASMR content is also great because it's some of the easiest and cheapest and fastest content to make. If you're an ASMR creator, you can make thousands of videos of yourself just talking to a microphone, and people continue to love it because the sensation that they are getting from watching ASMR relaxes their brain and puts them to sleep and gives them a feeling of lethargy that they don't get from other content, and they can predictably get it from their favorite creators. So if you're thinking about making this type of content, I would seriously give it a go because largely it does not take much time. And you can do it with things that cost no money. So try tapping and breaking and flicking through things that you already own in your house before buying things directly for making ASMR content if you want to go the slow route with this. This is also the sort of content that does really well on TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts now recently as well. So without further ado, that was my list. I hope you really enjoyed it. I put a little bit of time into curating this list just because I have some experience with Snapchat Spotlight and I know the things that have gotten successful, and there are areas that I did not mention that are successful that do not really monetize. So I hope you can keep that in mind. If you have any questions or anything like that, or if you have any other niches that you think about or that you do, please leave them in the comments. I'm very interested to know anything more about Snapchat Spotlight, as always, as an emerging platform that people use. Thanks so much.